but it's definitely a crazy episode. We are in a post Whitney world now. We are in a post we're in a post Chloe, or what's short for Clark and Lowe, or Clark and Chloe,
Chloe,
is
Chloe,
Chloe.
Chloe,
Chloe.
Chloe, whatever you want to go.
we are officially in a post Cloark world. They are basically saying that they are just good friends and nothing more.
But
So
that was such
That
was such a weird timing when they decided to bring that up when they were
Asshole.
searching for Jonathan. It's like, hey, my dad could possibly be dead, and you want to talk about this? It's not really the best time at the
Read
moment.
the room,
But yeah, she
Chloe.
was clearly
Read the
testing
room.
Clark's like feelings for Chloe, seeing that if he's willing to fight for the relationship. But apparently, it's like, no, okay, let's be friends. Like, what a dick, right? I was like, damn. It's like you realize that Chloe was testing you.
setting is weird too, because they're searching for like for like Jonathan, and they're just in there, and Chloe's like, hey, what are we? I'm like, lady, there's a time and a place. I'm just saying,
But
get
also,
your
couldn't he just cover
priorities.
the ground in super speed to search for his dad, and then he didn't really need Pete and Chloe to help search
Yeah,
for
but
him?
what's he gonna say?
He didn't-
Hey,
he
you
didn't-
guys go over here. I'm gonna go over here.
But yeah,
Okay.
but he had the map was handed over from Lex, and he could have covered the ground himself like in seconds. And also, when he was using his X-ray vision, and he knows he can't see through lead, that they found the trailer that was like jumped like right on top of Jonathan and Nixon. He knows he can't see through lead, so why can't he just lift it up from the start? I mean, I know he does it later, but he could have done it from the start if he can't, because we know that he can't see anything from the surface from lead, and then he could just lift it up and look underground.
Sees her.
This-
Literally, it looks like he jizzed all over the freaking projector.
And you're
Like,
seeing the
with
projector,
fireballs.
and you're seeing the screen
Like, dude.
of the sex educational video, except there's a sperm egg in front of the screen.
I'm just like, they did that on purpose. They knew what they
That
were
was
making.
so on purpose because he's a he's
Oh,
a hormonal teenager. He's staring at his substitute teacher. I was like,
Me-
damn, like you could not resist. You couldn't resist. You're fucking young and you're seeing a hot teacher in the classroom, and you just couldn't resist by staring at her.
Me in the future put in the Robin Williams, at that point even God's going to you get it clip.
At that point, even God's going, do you get it?
But yeah, we get heat vision, and that's among Clark's
way,
powers. And there's a scene in this episode where Lex gets set on fire, and I was just sitting there like, oh, well, this is where the frost breath comes in, right? And I'm like, oh wait, I don't even know if this is part of the show, and you guys can't even tell me.
He just got his heat vision, okay? I mean,
yeah, he just manifested heat vision for the first time. I don't think he'll manifest two abilities in one episode.
Well,
There's a reason why it's called heat.
But also now he's got to get turned on every time he gets he has to shoot heat.
Yeah, he just has to think
It's
about
like,
sex every time he triggers the
yeah.
heat vision. And the
And
heat
then-
vision, the effects are a lot different than what we've seen in the other iterations of Superman. Because every time he shoots heat vision, it's lasers coming out of his eyes. But the showrunners thought it would be a little bit more authentic and a little bit more believable when you're calling your abilities heat vision. You shoot actual heat fire out of your eyes, which that was pretty a different change of pace that we've seen. But then we haven't seen that like that before.
Yeah, but I love the scene in the cornfield where Jonathan's trying to like help Clark hone the ability.
Well, in order to find the off switch, first we need to find the on switch, right? Remember exactly what you were thinking about the first time it happened.
Dad, this might be easier if I was
Alone. Yeah. Sorry.
Oh my God.
It's-
He's like,
it's
hey,
all-
it'll be easier if I was alone. Like,
I'm gonna
I don't want
teach
you to
my
be near
son
me
how
when
to
I'm having
masturbate
a
outside in the
sexual
field.
thoughts about Lana.
And it's all soundtrack to A Little Less Conversation by Elvis, which is just
Yeah.
certainly a choice. But yeah, that whole scene, and then he's like, Lana, and then like he finally figures it out.
Lana.
And I'm like, oh well, that's what you were thinking about, weren't you? You dirty
You look-
human.
It would have been
You
funnier
little
if he's
dirty
like literally
pervert.
shooting his heat vision. His mom walks in and goes,
But yeah, I liked the whole thing, and when Clark was like, I didn't tell you, Pete, because I'd afraid you would look at me different.
Pete, another reason why I didn't say anything is because I knew people would look at me the exact same way that you're looking at me right now.
How's that?
Like a freak.
While Pete is actually looking at him different. I'm like, Pete, you're confirming Clark's like suspicions of him. like right in the live as a
You're
topic.
literally proving him right. But later when in school, it's like, hey, I don't care if you're from the moon. But the problem is that I was devastated because you didn't trust me. And after all the lies you told me, like you kept me in the dark. Like, what the hell?
There's a brutal scene, and Jacob, you pointed this out to me, when Jonathan goes to confront Clark on it, and Clark like shoves him, and it's not like a human shove, because remember, Clark's an alien, so he like freaking shoves Jonathan and crashes him into the door, and I'm just like, it stopped being fun.
You never were.
Yeah, he doesn't need to like shove him that hard towards the truck because he has super strength. So yeah, he can just do a light shove. I mean, I don't know if that was made to be attention to hurt him, or maybe it was just an accident. Because you saw the look on his face, like, "Whoa, I cannot believe I did that."
I love how Clark literally, because he's like rebellious, he buys all that stuff. Then basically he steals Jonathan's motorcycle, which I'm like, why would you steal the motorcycle? You literally can super speed. I guess he's just doing it to be a dick because he knows.
I know, and maybe he just wanted to be cool. He wants to go in style, pick up a girl like Jessie along the way, give her a ride to school. And that was so funny that Clark was just like trying to put the moves on Lana, especially when you're bringing Jessie to school. You're flirting with multiple women at once.
Do they just let him shit in a bucket or something, or do they just?
They probably did. You never know. They could have given him a bucket to take a dump.
Knowing this family, they probably did some Buffalo Bill type stuff. Like, it puts the lotion in the basket or else it gets the hose again. You never know.
Insert clip, Ryan. Clip.
Oh, the clip is going in. There's no doubt.
Rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Also, yeah, like, how does he poop though? Literally, like, besides that, like, does he poop? How does he poop?
The smell in that basement.
It must have smelled really bad. But did you know that downstairs in the basement is the same set design from the storm cellar from the Cantu farm?
Legit. I
rewatched that last night and I caught it. I was like, oh yeah, that's definitely the same set, except they just dump a bunch of crap in the basement.
And he dresses like he just got off the set of Interview with a Vampire with Tom Cruise.
like he's in the fucking 15th century. Like, what century are you living in? You know you're living in the modern day, bro.
No, he like he doesn't like Edgar Allan Poe's poetry, and yet he dresses like him. And Principal Reynolds is the coroner who is the first victim of Jason, and Jason goes to hell. I did not need to be reminded of that movie's existence, but let's go.
Play that clip when you reference him. Play that clip of eating the heart.
Believe me, I am. But this principal was too much. Like, this guy basically watched Lean on Me with Morgan Freeman exactly once, and he said, that's going to be my entire personality now.
That's going to be my personality now, Clark. I'm going to give you a 5. I'm going to say, what are you going to be for 5 years from now? He's trying to sound like Morgan Freeman from Lean on Me. He's trying to be the hard ass.
Crazy Joe. Well, now you can call me Batman. Episode had some juicy drama going on here. Like, everyone just playing a big old game of Who's Your Daddy between Clark, Lex, and Lana with the Harry Small character. I mean, just everyone just questioning everything like it's an episode of X-Files. But I think this is in the running for one of the best episodes in this whole season. Jacob, what say you?
This episode, first off, I think it should have been called Who's Your Daddy? Because that would have made
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
Oh, you think I actually, when you said Who's Your Daddy, I always think of that stupid ass movie, The Master of Disguise. And where Pistachio goes, Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
Who's that daddy? Who's that daddy?
Play clip. Insert clip here.
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
Clark rescues mind-reading Ryan James from a research hospital that treats him like a lab rat. Ryan's guardian doctor sues to get Ryan back. and Clark learns that Ryan has a brain tumor that needs treatment.
What's the doctor's name again?
Dr. Garner, I believe.
Dr. Garner. It's supposed to be Dr. Garner,
What's his
not
last name?
Seuss.
You said Dr. Seuss, and we are like, wait, what?
I was like, what the fuck?
He said it again, Dr. Seuss. What is it with you? Are you going to a Dr. Seuss convention? You've been reading Dr. Seuss?
Doctor. Oh, come, guys.
You've been reading Dr. Seuss today?
I think Cam's been reading too much Dr. Seuss books lately, and the Dr. Seuss just comes to his brain.
Well, I do work in a library, and there are a lot of Dr. Seuss books in the kids section, so maybe that has something to do with it. But
it's gonna hop on pop later.
And stop by the Laura.
Horton here's. Yeah, let's be glad no one named Horton is in this book, because then you'd hear a who.
But everybody.
I was waiting for you to literally, Ryan, was waiting for you to say, "Don't be such a Grinch who stole Christmas." I was waiting for you to say that.
One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. I don't know. I can't come up with something. But anyway.
And then, of course, he could not save everyone. Like, I like the idea that Ryan dies. It's like, it shows, it's almost like the Christopher Reeve film. You cannot save everyone. You know,
that's exactly what it was. That was a little bit more of a callback to the Christopher Reeve Superman, like the line that he was given in the first Superman movie when he was at his father's grave and his funeral. It was like, hey, like all the things I could do, all those powers, and I couldn't even save him. Like that was such an emotional impact, especially in this episode. Even though he can do all the things that he can do to save people, but he can't save people from illness, from cancer, tumor, whatever.
Also, Jacob pointed this out to me. I love the transition where it goes to ad break, where like Ryan has the nosebleed and it falls on the Warrior Angel comic, and then it transitions the mask like part onto Clark's face. I don't know if you all caught that.
I caught that. Oh yeah, I've caught that. Because that was a little bit of the transition shot that, like I said before, like the way Ryan sees him, he's Warrior Angel.
Pretty much. And I guess it was never fully stated, but is like Ryan officially dead? Like, is he dead?
Yeah. After the whole balloon sequences, they saw that they got all of his belongings. That means, he died off screen, which the balloon scene to me was the best part of the episode. It shows you that for the moment, even though he's not Superman yet, he got to be Superman for the moment. And Ryan telling him like, hey, don't blame yourself. Don't be mad about what's happening. And you changed my life, and you're going to change people's lives. That is a little bit of a foreshadowing of what Clark Kent will become one day. And that scene broke me at the same time. It was great, but it broke me.
Well, let's pour one out for Ryan James, the best side character on this show so far.
Even better than Pete and Chloe.
Salute me, familia. So you want to know what Lex does in this episode? He beats up with the car of a meter maid.
Hey! Are you crazy? I employ 2,500 people in this town.
That's literally
with his 9-iron. Because of a parking ticket, because the fucking parking dude who's giving out parking tickets was talking trash to Lex. He's like, oh, I'm starting to enjoy your little tea time. We all got hard work. Ugh. It's like, I'm sorry, do I do something to offend you? I don't, it's so stupid, but it was so great that how Michael Rosenbaum sold that scene. He just, when he lost his temper, just uses 9-iron to just hit the shit out of that glass window.
Kind of reminds me of that scene in The Big Lebowski where
when John Goodman used that bat and hits that fucking car, and
this is what happens.
That was the Rob Burns
fuck a stranger in the ass.
And this is what happens, Larry.
You see what happens, Larry? You see what happens? This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, Larry.
Out with Chloe.
When he's feeling it, when he's like making out with Chloe. When he's feeling it,
he's like, like, because it's like essentially a part of yourself. Okay, so like if I slap myself in the face, then my hand's gonna feel it, and so is my face. So essentially, if I'm making out with Chloe, I should be able to feel it. I'm like this, going, "What's wrong? Nothing."
So in a weird way, is he kind of fucking himself?
Were you feeling it when I was fucking her?
It's just like, he's just like, what's wrong, dude? Like a scene in like
just imagine him laying on his bed sleeping while the other self just fucks another chick, and he just always like having his own little wet dream.
Oh my! I am gonna have the time of my life editing this.
Just like imagine he has nuclear diarrhea,
or just imagine having a tangible orgasm. Just like,
man,
don't touch me on tantric. Tantric, what the fuck is tantric?
It's just like literally like I seen him with Harry Met Sally, where he's like, yes, yeah, he's on a date with Lana while he's having sex with Chloe. He goes, yes.
This is probably gonna be the most fun and the most funniest episode on this podcast.
I'm gonna have the time of my life.
Brought to you by Sex Talk.
Small talk turned into sex talk.
Sex Talk edition.
Small talk after hours, if you will. But
Sex Talk after dark.
But then that kind of defeats that. I don't think it would, because he literally fell to his death. One of his clones. So if he fell, his clone falls to the death.
But did you see the deleted scene in the DVD bonus? Yeah, his clone died.
Like seriously.
Yeah,
he would destroy the dirt bike. Like you saw, he was on a dirt bike and just do like a wheelie and then come down like, oh.
We noticed that there was a stunt double when it was just like a long shot of the stunt double flipping over of that bike and falling into the cave. It was so ridiculous.
I felt like that was a forced storyline because they didn't really have nothing for Lana to do.
Yeah, I believe it was either this or the next episode where we get the whole thing with Harry Small's wife being like, he's kind of a flake and you should stay away from him. I'm like, then why are you married to him? That's what I wanted.
I know, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you married to the guy?
You just buried your husband in front of his kind of sort of daughter. And I
just threw him under the bus.
I'm like, I turned into Dr. Phil's. I'm like, why are you married to him?
Why are you married to him?
I mean, really? Really, I just say, like,
such a drama queen.
The more you know. Hey, Ryan, we need to get the more you know. Like, the more you know.
I think I already downloaded it. I think I downloaded it for another video. I think I have it, but yes.
Just put that the more you know. I was like, you should put that scene and then put the more, and then you should say, and Photoshop your face. It's Photoshop or not Photoshop, but just add your voice saying after she says that line, and then you say in Lana's voice, then why are you married to?
Yeah, until it gets too difficult or he loses interest, which he always does.
I'm like, then why are you married to him?
The performance was really believable for her, having a big emotional breakdown that every around her that she comes close to leaves, but Clark was always going to be there no matter how much she doubts him at many occasions. But he would still always be there. And going back to what Clark has said, like, hey, would I still risk my life without my powers? And he would have. And I believe he would, because the powers is not what makes him who he is. It's what he already is. It just amplifies on what he would actually do and what he was taught to do. It's definitely Lex's fault in this one.
I do like how it parallels. Have you noticed how, like in Jitters, Clark and his
the family group hug thing, and then Lex sees it, wishing that he would have that happening again in this episode at the end.
Except Lex is didn't even fake hug, because Lionel's pissed at him. He goes, "I'm getting my things from the mansion." He goes, "I hope." He goes, "No, you've done enough." Like, you just like, oh, like Lionel's like, I don't even want to speak to you because you everything. This is all your fault, basically. Like Lionel knows, and then like Lex is like, feels like alone, and especially how they're hugging, Lex just watching them, and I'm like, I don't feel bad for you in this episode, Lex, because you did this yourself.
That's true.
That is your fault.
Suspect and Rush both suck. I'm just establishing the pace that Smalltalk episode 13 is going to take. These episodes were not easy to get through, and I've been on a bit of a high on this show. Past couple episodes, like a couple of moments, but then just consistent string of quality. And then we hit the brick wall, the 3-episode brick wall known as Suspect, Rush, and Prodigal. Prodigal was solid, but Suspect and Rush were just, they were hard work. So, we're just going to jump into that. I'm Ryan Cam, Jacob Collins, say something stupid. Lionel Luthor is shot twice in the Luthor's mansion by an unknown assailant. It's Sheriff Ethan, by the way. When Jonathan Kent is found drunk with a pistol in one hand and a bottle of tequila in the other hand, sleeping in his truck, he becomes the prime suspect of the attempt because the coolest homie ever is somehow an assailant, apparently. All the evidences point towards him because his episode is stupid. But Clark believes in his innocence and tries to prove that his father did not shoot Lionel, because he didn't, you see. Clark and Pete team up to investigate leads Lionel had, and learns that the conspiracy to frame Jonathan goes back to the town sheriff. Yeah, the town sheriff shot a guy. Meanwhile, Lex deals with his father's associate, Dominic Senatori, Sean Connery's kid, who thinks Lex was the culprit who shot Lionel. Oh, that would have been a much better payoff than what we got. But Lex thinks Dominic is the guilty one. He should have been. Meanwhile, Lana asks Chloe to investigate Henry Small after he refuses to take down Jonathan's case because he is flakier than phyllo dough. Matt, go.
Damn.
How do you really feel about the episode, Ryan?
How do you tell us how you really feel, Ryan? Look, I'm gonna probably give it a little bit of a positive grade, call like a 6 out of 10. It was okay.
Very generous, Matt. That's very generous.
Hey, I love Smallville, and yeah, I had a lot of negative scores in the previous episodes. This one, it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen.
In the words of Gene Siskel, where's your big red hat and beard, Santa? You just gave them a gift. Jacob, what about you?
Jesus.
I just gave them a gift. Sorry.
Here it comes. You should do a montage video whenever 3D Jacob just dies of laughter and just have a little montage of him dying.
Well, I have been toying with some ideas.
I told him we should do clips of this, like just cut out, like
or just cut out whenever he breaks down. Whenever we break down laughing, that will be like in the blooper reel.
Yeah, I have a feeling
best stuff for the end of the year, but
yeah, I actually was thinking like 4 stars.
You know what? I'm going to go 2. I did not care for this episode in the slightest. The actors make it work to the best of their ability.
That's mainly why I give 4 stars. The acting.
On the WB's new Tuesday, Bad Clark is back.
You serious?
Be careful not to cross the line. I dare you to stop me.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
This time, he's got company.
Oh, my own personal superhero. I want to see the look on Lana's face when she sees me with Clark.
What? What on God's great earth?
The Rush, invincible. But his friends are not. An all-new Smallville.
During a rave party in the underground cave discovered by the Indian descendant Kyla Willowbrook, which, by the way, that's really disrespectful to what's supposed to be a preserved thing, but anyway, the student Travis has a reckless attitude, climbing a lamp tower and dies. Who is Travis? It's not important. Soon after, Pete is pierced by a parasite hiding in the cave wall, thus becoming reckless and bold. We get Dick Pete, folks, and it's not good. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor hires the linguistic specialist, Dr. Frederick Walden, who is about as welcoming as the Antarctic, to decipher the meaning of the paintings in the cave. Clark invites Lana to date on the next evening. Later, Clark goes with Chloe Sullivan to the cave, and she is also pierced, and we also get Dick Chloe, changing immediately her behavior into, I assume, Avril Lavigne. That's kind of what she looks like.
And then later we get Dick Clark.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting to. When Pete puts a piece of red kryptonite in the pocket of Clark, he once again becomes Dark Clark or Red Clark or Dick Clark, in which the trio makes lots of trouble in Smallville and hurts the feelings of Lana. I hate this episode because primarily it reverts Klana to basically square one. We made so much progress. We made 2 steps forward and we have taken 100 steps back. And it doesn't really help things that every character in this is near insufferable. Jacob, go.
Okay, well, first off, fuck you. I like this episode.
It's false. No way. Not this time.
This is actually a fun episode.
Hell no to the no, no, no. Hell to the no.
This episode gives me heartburn because literally a couple of episodes ago, Clark and Lana were almost there. They were going the distance.
I don't care if you have secrets, Clark. You are the one good, constant thing in my life, and I don't want to lose you, too. Me about something I saw with my own eyes. For once, just be honest with yourself. I know why Chloe was kissing you. But why were you kissing her back?
Waste of my damn time.
And just literally, like, this one thing happens, and Lana's just like, well, Clark is just an awful human being now. I'm just sitting there like, Lana, my sister in Christ, you literally have said, despite everyone leaving, Clark is the only consistent thing in your life. You see him doing something with,
because
like,
that was the part where you're implying that she broke character from that moment, because it kind of contradicts what she was saying in that last episode with Whitney.
He can't tell her, Ryan. He cannot tell her.
What
he
really
can't
happened?
Tell her.
He
He's like,
can't.
he can't, because it's like, if he tells her, she's gonna look at him like a freak or something. I'm gonna give this an 8 out of 10.
No, you're not.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Are you gonna say Jacob's full of shit?
He is, but give me the real rating, please.
I like it. It's an 8 out of 10. I actually like this episode.
Yeah, he was very clear from the start. He says, "Fuck you, Brian. I
like this episode. I like it. It's a fun episode. I could watch it right now. That's a good episode.
I was very impressed. I will agree that one of the best parts was when Chloe and Pete were running right off the cliff with the car, and Clark catches the car, which that was pretty badass.
The car? Again,
he got another car. It's that it looks similar to his last car, but now it's blue.
Blue.
The best in that whole episode. But Matt, what about it?
I'm going to give this thing a 7.5 out of 10. I did enjoy this episode. I don't think it was one of the worst. It's better than the Suspect episode, I will say. So, yeah, it had some good redeemable qualities for me.
I'm going to go 2.5. I'm giving just the half to the fact that there is no crappy sheriff reveal.
You're so full of shit. You're so full of shit, Ryan.
I don't care. This is my hill, and I choose to die on it.
Ryan's full of shit. Vote.
It gets
bullshit
2.5.
meter. Bullshit meter. Ryan. You have to put the bullshit meter in. Ryan's full of shit. I also liked Lex doing chores. Like once Lex gets kicked out, I like him doing chores to earn his keep. It shows that Jonathan, you can see, respects him a lot more now. The fact that he's just not like that. He's actually like, oh my god, he's actually doing chores.
That
like,
he's not just some. That he's just
woke
not
up
some
early just to watch it.
I love the part that when he brings up with the ranch in Montana. So I'm like, okay.
There was that scene and they had that in the gag reel where like Michael Rosenbaum was just goofing off. He's like, he was just grabbing a fucking hay with fucking like cow shit, horse shit, whatever. He's like, I'm just gonna eat shit. I don't give a shit. I'll clean up all the shit. There was that was the scene in the gag reel. Like,
put that clip in here, Ryan.
I gotta show you that clip. It's so funny. But
Ryan,
I can't
put that clip
there is a gag reel for season 2. But once we get towards the end, I will show you the gag reel that they had on the bonus disc.
Oh, Clark, my family had a ranch in Montana. I could eat shit. I just eat shit. I'll just clean up all.
You just see Michael Rosenbaum just goofing off on camera.
But legit, when it goes to commercial, like in the show, and Lex is like, I need to stay here a few nights, and it goes to Jonathan, I was just sitting there like, he's gonna throw him out like Uncle Phil does to Jazz.
I was wondering if I could stay with you for a while.
It was very clear that he called out her name was Lana while he was unconscious, and that just broke her. I'm like, dude, are you that surprised?
Yes.
Like
Clark,
he literally is in love with Lana
Clark.
for a while. You still haven't figured that out yet? And you still went back to that whole thing?
Clark does not spank his monkey to you. He spanks his monkey to Lana. Get that through your head, Chloe. When he shoots his heat vision out, he shoots his heat vision out at Lana, not you.
Well, I was going to say, last week I made a whole big fuss about how we feel like we regressed with the Klana, and it kind of feels like low-key they kind of regressed with the clacks, or not the clacks, but like the cloax.
Cloax.
We regressed with the cloax too, because like
Clark, it's just Clark, and it just sounds pretty much like Chloe and Clark, blah blah blah.
Like writers, pick a space and go with it.
Pick a lane.
They still wanted to drag this out with a love story with Chloe and Clark, Lana love triangle. They're still going on.
Did it feel to you like they didn't really have anything to do with them, and that's why they kept going back to this, because they just don't have nothing to do? Like they have, look,
the only thing they have left to do with Chloe is to becoming a more of a search engine and give her the news to Clark whenever there's any incident going on in Smallville. That's what she's used for.
Have any of you ever seen Kim Possible, the Disney show?
Yes.
Yeah.
The dude.
Kim Possible, call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
The dude that always gives Kim the missions, that's pretty much Chloe.
Wade. Right.
Really?
Wade. Yeah, she's essentially Wade, except Wade doesn't have Wade is not obsessed with Kim Possible and doesn't want to sleep with Kim Possible.
That's true.
That's very true, yes. Of her own. So the biggest takeaway to take away from this episode, like Matt brought up, Christopher Reeve guest stars in this episode, and yeah, it's just as awesome as you think it is. And to be completely honest,
and I remember you sent me a DM with a GIF with the chills. I was like, yeah,
that's what I got. And I'll be perfectly honest, I'm not like a super fan of the Donner movies. I respect them more than I like them, if that makes sense.
You can go to hell. They movies rock.
But Christopher Reeve is awesome.
Except for Superman 3 and 4. I don't care. You can shoot those up.
He crushed it in that role despite all the crap he had to go through with 3 and 4. But his role in this episode is very limited. Maybe that was because of his condition. I'm not sure. But he absolutely just it was a wonderful sight to behold. It felt like a passing of the torch from one Superman to like the Superman of the
yeah, it definitely felt like the passing of the torch with the old
scene?
Superman and the new Superman coming forward.
Did you see the scene in the credits where they're talking about the Christopher Reeve Foundation with Tom Welling?
I don't think it was on streaming. I don't think you can find it. You can find it in the DVD bonus features where they
usually
actually
on the
showed
DVD.
at the end.
They actually in the DVD on Smallville season 2, they had the thing at the end after this says executive.
Oh yeah,
producer,
the whole promotion
where
of
it says Christopher Reeve Foundation.
Yeah, the Christopher Reeve Foundation of Conquer Paralysis, because Christopher Reeve suffered from a neck injury because he got paralyzed from the neck down. And yeah, they promoted it with him and Tom Welling. They promoted the whole Christopher Reeve Foundation.
And I like
I thought that was the touching for me. I loved it.
Please help us conquer paralysis.
Call the Christopher Reeve Paralysis Foundation at 1-800-225-0292.
Or visit the CRPF website at christopherreeve.org.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Please call.
Suddenly just looks up in her email and saw a photo of the spring formal with her and Clark.
This is about you violating my privacy. This office and everything in it is now off limits.
Oh, for God's sake.
Waste of my damn time.
And then then Chloe just fucking overreacts. That scene itself, like, why are we going back to this shit again?
I was just angry at the hypocrisy, because I'm just sitting there like, hello, Chloe, you literally looked up Clark's birth records.
I'm not giving you an exclusive on my life.
You're not even curious that she might be your biological mom?
4 to 6 weeks later.
This is about you violating my privacy. This office and everything in it is now off limits.
Delusions! And he justifiably blew up in your face about it.
You were prying into his private life, so you're fucking hypocritical.
Black said the pot to the kettle.
I just can't believe that. Like, also Lex gets a girlfriend gets mad because she's made an article in a gossip paper. I'm like, you should know this by now. Lex Luthor, because everybody's gonna think you're a gold digger because you're dating a billionaire.
Yeah, what did you think that was going to happen? Like, did you really believe that they were not going to put up any tabloids and try to make up gossip about you since now you're dating a billionaire?
It just
powerful man in the world.
It just reminded me of that stupid scene in Spider-Man 3 where Mary Jane gets bad reviews and she goes to complain like it's Peter's fault. I'm like, how is that his fault?
It's not about you. It's me. No, it's Spider-Man 3. It is about me, asshole.
I was thinking that reminded me so much of like, you're just nagging. It's all you're doing right now. You're not really adding nothing to this. All you're doing is you're complaining about something that Lex had nothing to do with. And you're just like, oh, it's your fault. I'm like, how is it his fault? It's your
Yeah. Again, they want to create another drama with Helen Bryce and Lex.
Yeah, like Dr. Bryce, you're dating like Lex Luthor, one of the most richest and most
controversial
people like in this universe. Like gossip magazines are literally baked into the cake with him.
Yeah, they throw a gossip about you and you throw a hissy fit.
Fragile ego, fragile body, weak mind, weak spirit.
You would not survive if Twitter exists.
Oh, yeah, she would not.
Imagine if it was in today's world, the social media.
She'd be writing all the comments. Be quiet. Be quiet. People be like a 15-year-old boy that's in her trolling her. I mean, it's like that scene in The Office where Andy gets a bad. Someone puts like in a comment section on YouTube that this dude sucks, and then he replies like, "No, I don't suck actually," and then just keeps going. Like, was it?
But just, man, like her whole thing of you did the wrong thing. And I'm just like, no, he did the right thing.
But he threw that guy 30 feet across that
She pushed Lana. She pushed
Yeah, I know. They
pushed
were
Lana
they
shoved
they assaulted her and harassed her.
Also, I did like that Lana was fighting the abusers at the end, which by the way, I had issues also with the scene.
No, I agree with you on that. I'm with you with the whole scene where she defends herself against the guy who was faking his injury. And then she suddenly knows how to kick ass and do nail the spin kick just like that.
It really is like, I just hate. There is one thing that I thought about you when I was watching this episode, Ryan. Whenever like the woman's like, I'm divorcing Henry Smalls, and I'm thinking like, didn't Ryan say like 2 days ago, like 2 episodes ago, Ryan's like when he says he doesn't have time for you, he doesn't have time, and he goes, then why did he marry you? Like you said that. And I'm just thinking, Ryan's like, why are you married to him? If you're divorcing him, like, what is, I just imagine Ryan's divorcing.
And she's divorcing Henry Small for the stupidest of reasons because
Lana is his top priority. Like,
you are
that's his fucking daughter. What are you talking about? Are you mental? Add that clip from Wayne's World when Wayne just calls out to fucking Stacy.
Are you mental?
I was
like, are you that shallow? Are you really that selfish? Seriously? That really frustrated me in that episode.
This must have been a marriage of convenience because I swear to God, this woman has put down Henry Small. I felt bad for the guy. Like she's put down Henry Small at every opportunity. He's a flake. He was going to be a congressman. Now he runs a law office out of our house. Like he's focusing on you more than me. Just like pick a lane.
You shouldn't focus on your daughter. You should focus more on me. No, fuck. I was like, hey, fuck you. That's my daughter, and I care more about her. And if you can't handle that, that's your problem.
Compared to her, what'd she do? What did she do? She goes, like, literally, first off, why Lana sitting there in the car? She could have did this. Like, don't let her see me. Don't let her see me. Or she could have been
oh god, don't make eye contact.
Could have been like,
Psycho hose beast.
She could have been like, Chloe, hey, can you go ahead and go? And Chloe's like, yeah, sure, yeah. Instead, she's just like this, like,
huh?
And then they make eye contact.
They wanted to make that dramatic turn. Remember in Zoolander 2 or Zoolander 1 or wherever that scene was with Stiller and Owen Wilson did this whole thing. Does this blue steel stare?
Like all that was missing was the "you've been spotted in Metal Gear Solid" noise. The boy, like that one. That's all that was missing.
Looked all practical too. It looked really
good. especially in the graveyard, the cemetery, when he was chasing after Emily Densmore, the way they did that visual effects shot and the slow-mo in the rain. And then Sam Jones, the third, just stood there. But in this one scene in the gag reel where he just could not keep a straight face, and then someone in the extra the crew was laughing.
What the hell are you guys laughing at over there?
It's like, what the hell are you guys laughing at? When he's trying to do this freezing slow-mo, pretending to freeze in the middle of the shot, he just could not keep a straight face and starts cracking up.
They said the little girl never complained. They said they were shooting out there and that was really freaking cold because it was like this is like in January, February.
Oh, she didn't complain about that.
They said that Sam and him were like, this fucking, we're freezing our balls off. And then she's just like, didn't say nothing. She's just like professional as ever. No, like she was more professional that day than we were.
Shout out,
yeah, she was 10.
Shout out to the young actress Jodelle Ferland who played Emily.
Lex is sexually obsessed with Clark. Let's just get that out the way, okay? There's a lot of sexual tension between them two, okay? He's very obsessed with Clark, okay? Like literally, I guarantee you, he probably has naked pictures of Clark just so that way he knows, like, all right, this is what he looks like naked. So now we need to find out, is this penis an alien penis? And like, sir, we can't tell that by a photo. Well, then what do we have to do, damn it, to find out? When he takes a shit, I want somebody down there in the farm getting shit. So that way, analyze this man's shit. And they're just like, sir.
You just want to see a sexual tension with Lex and Clark. You're dying to see it.
I just want Klex. I mean, yeah, I just want
You want the Klex. You want the Klex. You're one of those people.
No, I'm not one of those people.
This week on Unsolved Mysteries. Anyway, I really enjoy. Let's give him a minute.
Is Clark obsessed with Lex? Does Clark have Lex's shit in his office?
I mean, the shit sample would be highly unlikely.
I guarantee you, Lionel Luther would.
Oh, he jacks the kryptonite key.
I'm fast as fuck, boy. I like that. Yo, no,
that's so villain. That's so over the top. That's so over the. That was such an over the top right there.
No. Better than the Anakin.
That's kind of weird that Jonathan's given him the compass that was supposed to be like a sacred tradition for the Kent family, but he's giving it to Lex on the wedding day. Like, what? What the hell? that made no sense. Oh, the Klana.
No. Oh my God, Ryan! When you edit this episode,
no better than Darth Vader. No.
Add Anakin's no, but add Lionel's no in front of it.
It's mostly Darth Vader's like, no.
She was 18.
Oh God, here's the scene, and then oh my God, like, this scene really frustrated me. Here comes Chloe, bugging
Seriously?
people. She's bugging people.
Your timing is impeccable.
I thought Chloe was going to the wedding.
Hold on. Listen to this. This is pissed me off, and this whole scene was the worst.
I was going to tell you.
Really? Obviously, it was on the top of your to-do list.
Shut your bitch ass up!
Oh, Jesus, tap dancing Christ.
Chloe, this isn't about you, man. It's not called Chloeville. It's called Smallville. You drove all the way over here to tell him this when you could have phone called him and tell him this. Or waited till after
she's not even going to tell him what happened. Tell him about Lionel, that he's trying to investigate Clark. She's not even going to tell him
that the writers would find a better idea for Chloe, because it just seems like every freaking
no, he's always been in love with Lana. No, duh, it's not breaking news.